In an instant, everything changed. The reigning champion Flash knocked down from his podium Jaedong. Not the reigning champion, but also very important, also knocked out. Now, 8 players will vie for the most coveted title in StarCraft Sports. The gold of the OSL. Ladies and gentlemen, I bring you the craziness OSL L.
You called down the thunder.
Target designated.
Nuclear launch detected. Nuclear attack.
Prepare to die.
Imaging completed.
Non-vigilant.
Nukenites. This is a 2010 Bacchus OSL Round of 8. Yes, 8. We took a pair of hedge trimmers, just went shink. 8 guys are gone, and now 8 remain. And a lot of new faces in this round of 8, too. This has been a huge shakeup in the OSL. And I think that's one of the main reasons I'm so excited to cast tonight. I'm feeling very excited about these games because everything feels so fresh, so new. I came up with a good metaphor for this earlier, actually. It's like going into a restaurant that you frequent, that you like, and everyone has their own favorite thing that they like to get at restaurants, like your steak gorgonzola alfredo or something. Because it's safe, it's going to be good. I mean, that's what an OSL with Flash and Jaedong in it are like. It's safe, there are going to be some good games. But this OSL is like going into the same restaurant, opening the menu, being like, wow, I've never seen this on the menu before. I don't even know what this is. I'm going to order it. Is it going to be bad? Is it going to be good? Is it going to be the best thing ever? You don't know. And that's why it's so exciting. But here we go. Hyuk versus Fantasy on Icarus. Except up at the 12 o'clock position in red is Hyuk. Over at the 3 o'clock position in whatever is Fantasy. And of course, both these guys are on the same team. So it's going to suck for them. It's a great tone to start this on. It's going to suck. All right. Let's get some predictions from the Nukenites to save us from that horrible tone. Here's one from Days MW2, which I assume is Modern Warfare 2, writes, Hyuk will lose all his hatch and then own everyone with 1 muta. LMAO! Here's another one from Ningara, writes, Stork versus Fantasy would be a dream finals. P.S. Fantasy, this is your OSL, do it! Here's another one from Apanish Shade Derna. Always had trouble with that one. Writes, Fantasy will raffle stomp Hyuk along with the rest of his side of the bracket. Then he will move on to face off against Stork in a glorious finale where he will use Valkyries against carriers. The cosmos will implode and Fantasy will have yet another silver medal to hang on his wall of almost fame. I love you, Fantasy! Yeah, that definitely seems to be the most predicted finals. From the comment section of my preview video, everyone was predicting Fantasy versus Stork, which would be a really good rematch of the Icarus OSL finals, which was the first finals I ever commentated on. That was a good final, and Fantasy is actually better now than he was back then, so I think it'd be even closer matchup. Yeah, that would be pretty awesome. Alright, here's another prediction from Architect. Writes, Hyuk! 4 exclamation points in that one. Here's another one from Tami Zushi. Writes, I think Fantasy and Stork are statistically the favorites for the OSL. A Fantasy versus Stork final would be epic. An Icarus OSL rematch, anyone? Plus, both players are beasts in TVP. Yeah, even though commenters, gave their predictions for Stork versus Fantasy finals, I had the most predictions for that finals. I'd say an overwhelming majority of everyone who commented were Hyuk fans. I mean, Hyuk had more fans that I saw than any other player in this round of 8. So Hyuk, getting the fanboys. And I guess that's kind of understandable. A lot of guys in this round of 8 are either new, like Modesty, or they've kind of fallen by the wayside, like Mind. Oh, it's a cute baby!
Goliath Online.
That baby was born in the audience. It's good he's starting his life out with StarCraft early. Yep, he'll be poning noobs in no time. But it looks like Fantasy is just about ready to put down his command center. Building his bunker at the front, just to protect against Hyuk's uber aggressiveness. He knows his teammate very, very well. There's some fans praying in the audience. You can do it, Hyuk. I believe in you. But Hyuk already putting down his lair off of these 2 hatcheries. I think that Hyuk is going to go for his 2-hatch Mutalisk build again, because this is the same map that he did it against Flash on, defeating Flash, even though Flash went for 20 turrets. I think that was Flash's major downfall in that game, though, the amount of turrets he placed to fight back the Mutalisk build. Because I do believe that this map requires a lot of turrets to fight back Mutalisk harassment, but not 20-plus turrets. Come on, Flash. So hopefully Fantasy watched that game. I'm pretty sure he must have, because his teammate is playing in it, probably saw it. And he might even have a replay of it kicking around the team house that he could have looked at. But yeah, looks like the exact same build that Hyuk used against Flash on this map. So Fantasy should be prepared, but Hyuk is going for a Zergling run by, trying to push to the front. Quick reactions from Fantasy, though, getting his SCVs there at the choke, just to protect. So I don't think that Hyuk will be able to bust his way through inside the main. But he has put down his Spire already, and this is a 2-hatch Mutalisk build. Very aggressive Mutalisk opener. The basic goal of a 2-hatch Mutalisk build is to beat the turret timing. Because these days, Terran players like to throw down their scans first before they get up their turrets. So they can scan the main and the natural expansion, make sure they know what's coming their way, but that usually puts them a bit further behind on their turret timing than they like. It cuts things very close, and that is what Hyuk is going to count on. There not being enough turrets to protect by the time he has his Mutalisk out in the field, which he will have them out soon, as devoting most of his drones to the extractors, and he's going to be pumping Mutalisk from these 2 hatcheries for a long period of time, trying to reinforce them as he attempts harassment. Let's see if his harassment will be as good as it was against Flash. I mean, his harassment was so good against Flash that it made Flash throw down 20-plus turrets. Scared the crap out of Flash, and Flash was not able to deal with the lurkers once Hyuk did the switch. But one of the non-strong points, one of the weak points, non-strong, of a 2-hatch Mutalisk build, it takes a while to get to those lurkers. So Fantasy, if he defends against this, which it looks like he's going to be able to do, gets to scan out first, but he's already building turrets before he even scans. So he was not even going to press his luck. And he's building a bunker to protect his natural expansion. That could be a better use of the minerals, other than overcommitting to turrets. He built a bunker there to protect his natural expansion. So he doesn't have to build as many turrets, but yeah, he's already building a lot of turrets, which he'll need them. Definitely need them against this kind of aggressive Mutalisk build. But Hyuk is coming in here. He's deciding to go straight for the natural expansion. He's going to run into a bunker, though. And a couple more turrets being built by Fantasy at this natural. So Hyuk is not quite attacking yet. I think he might have seen the defensive there. He's grouped up with his Zerglings actually at the front, so he might be going for a break. Yeah, he is going for a break, trying to take down this bunker at the front. There is a fire bat in the bunker, though, taking down all these Zerglings at the front. Oh, that was very smart of Fantasy to pump that fire bat. And now he has 2 turrets at the front to help himself defend. Coming in here with his Medic Marines too, so I don't think that Hyuk is going to be able to press his luck and get through here with those 2 turrets at the front protecting Fantasy. But now Hyuk, I think he's going to take his 3rd base up at the 2 o'clock. So Fantasy is not out of the woods yet. He's building yet another turret next to his barracks. And it looks like Hyuk is going for it. He's going to go for it. He's going to try to take down the turrets and snipe all of the Medic Marines at the same time. But another turret is up for Fantasy. So, yeah, Hyuk decides to back off. I think he only has about 3 or 4 Mutalisks left in that clump. So I think it was a good thing that he backed off. Yeah, just seeing the amount of glaive worms it took to take down that SCV, I don't think there's many Mutalisks in that clump. So it's a good thing that Hyuk is changing up his game plan, because Fantasy is doing much better than Flash was doing in his game against Hyuk. Already getting a nice defense on, and still building plenty of turrets just to try to make sure that Hyuk can't try that same all-in Mutalisk attack that he did against Flash. But also in the game against Flash, Hyuk switched into lurkers, which I think he'll do again in this game. He's going to have to. He has no way to harass now. And Fantasy, I think he took some SCVs off his refinery to get down his extra barracks, which is something that Flash did not do in his game. He stuck to 2 barracks the entire game. So yeah, Fantasy playing much more smart in this game than Flash did. And getting up a 4th barracks, actually, so he's going to do a nice, strong Medic and Marine push soon. Hanging around his turrets at the moment, I'd say he is pretty safe against Mutalisk harassment. Is coming up with his Marines. They don't have the +1 upgrade yet, but once those Marines have the +1 attack upgrade, they're just going to rip into those Mutas. So Hyuk got to quickly go into lurkers. He's already putting down a few sunken colonies to help himself defend. But I'd say the most critical place that he needs to defend is that 2 o'clock base. That's going to be very vulnerable, because with this kind of opening, with a 2-hatch Mutalisk opening, you only have Mutas to defend yourself until those lurkers come way later in the game. So Fantasy, if he finds that 2 o'clock and he goes for it, Hyuk is only going to have his Mutalisk to defend it, so he's got to hope that Fantasy doesn't find it, goes for the natural instead. But now he's wedged himself in here. He's going to be able to snipe a lot of SCVs, found a nice little spot there between the turrets. Of course, he's still taking some turret fire, so he's got to back off, but he took down quite a few SCVs. Oh, Fantasy separated his medics. That's not good. Man, sniping the medics is critical for a Terran push, as Fantasy still trying to go up there to that natural expansion. I'm not sure if he's scanned or not, but he seems very timid on pushing the natural. But he's going for the 2 o'clock. He might have found out about the 2 o'clock. He's sneaking up there. So now Fantasy still trying to defend his main, has a couple of turrets left. Inside of his main, he is going for the 2 o'clock, so Hyuk is going to have to pull back here with all of his Mutas and defend. Oh, he almost snipes a medic, but yeah, he only has Mutalisk to help himself defend. So this is going to be really tight. I don't know if Fantasy's going to be able to take down this hatchery or not. Oh, well, it's sniping of another medic, though. So the more medics that Hyuk can snipe, the easier this is going to be. So it makes it harder to heal the Marines, but Fantasy is going for that hatchery. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to do this, though. Hyuk, he's hanging in. He has his reinforcement Mutalisk pumping, I think, but Fantasy's still going for that hatchery. Can he take this down? It's in yellow now. It's going into red, but still, there's no reinforcements coming in for Fantasy, so he's got to get it done with this troop on the ground. Let's see if we can do it. But now Hyuk is grouped up. Yeah, he's grouped up his Mutalisk, and Fantasy does not focus in on the hatchery, so the hatchery does not go down. Nicely done by Hyuk, saving the 3rd hatchery. Well done from him. That was a very crucial base to defend and keep. And now he has kept it. He doesn't have much drone saturation up there, but he kept it, and that's the most important part. But now Fantasy moving out with another squad of Medic and Marines. Moving up, but I think that Hyuk will have lurkers out soon. He's probably working on those. I don't see... Yeah, I saw the Hydralisk dens. There come the Hydralisk, too. So Hyuk is going to have lurkers out soon to deal with this Medic Marine squad in the middle. But +1 attack on the Marines now. So the Mutalisks are going to be basically rendered useless. These Mutalisks are just going to be a delay tactic to keep Fantasy in the middle, away from the lurkers until the lurkers are done morphing. Because this Hydralisk hasn't even morphed into a lurker yet. Oh, this is going to be another close attack if Fantasy decides to go for the 2 o'clock again, which he might. He's already sneaking up. Mutalisk trying to buy some time for the lurkers to morph. Alright, still hanging out there. Fantasy going straight for the 2 o'clock. He's making a bum rush for it. But the lurker just now morphing. Oh, this could be very bad. Fantasy can get by this lurker, or he could just focus in on it and kill the lurker basically while it's still in the egg. What the hell is Hyuk doing? He's attacking his own egg. I think he was attacking his egg. That's a bit ridiculous. But now Hyuk is trying to defend against this. He is attacking his egg. What are you doing, Hyuk? I guess he's... I don't know what... Oh, the lurker just burst into thin air. Evaporated. Warped into another dimension. I am the lurker. I see through time and existence. Or something. I don't know what I'm talking about, but Fantasy is going for the 2 o'clock again, being pincered in. Oh, wait, taking down the lurker, though. Having the presence of mind to take down that lurker before it gets the pincer attack. So I think that, yeah, Fantasy finally taking down the hatchery, and that's a huge loss for Hyuk. That could be the game-deciding loss for him, because losing a hatchery this early in the game is not good. The dropship out for Fantasy, so he's even going to do a little bit of dropship play. Probably try to ferry those troops from the 2 o'clock inside the main or something. But Hyuk, let's see if he can get this done, get some nice pincer attacks to get himself back into this game. But it's looking very grim for the Hyukmeister. Here comes the drop from Fantasy. He's going to be spotted soon, though. I think he's going to try to get past the Overlord, but he's still going to be scouted. Here comes Hyuk, trying to get into position. Make sure that Fantasy can't drop anywhere, but I'm not sure if he has the lurker count to do it. Still trying to chase down those troops. Inside the main, let's see if Fantasy can get anything done with this drop. Deciding not to drop. That's smart of Fantasy. He wouldn't have been able to do much with that drop, so he's probably going to circle around and try that drop again later inside the main, which Terran left to do in this OSL, it seems. With the science facility already out, going to see more science vessels from Fantasy. Oh, he finds a new base from Hyuk. As Hyuk trying to hide a base down at the 8 o'clock. Fantasy going to drop right here and find it, kill it. So that's even worse situation for Hyuk. He's not going to be able to get his third for a long time. Yeah, Hyuk is doing very, very badly. He's going to have to rely on a really good attack to get this done. If he can catch Fantasy off guard at his natural expansion, there's an awful lot of troops there. If he can get a nice pincer, but Fantasy not going to be caught off guard. He already scanned here, sees the lurkers, so he knows they're out there. So he knows he's going to be able to push up without the lurkers bothering him. But Fantasy pushing up. Oh, he finds another lurker, takes it down, and he's going for the game ender at the natural expansion. The defilers are going to be really, really late, so I don't think there are going to be any defilers at the natural. Hyuk is going to have to rely on just his troops out in the field for a pincer attack. So yeah, I think he's going to group up for the pincer. He could definitely take down those troops from Fantasy with a good pincer, as long as he has excellent lurker micro. Get those lurkers in close, rather than far away where they could be sieged and destroyed. And he might be preparing for the pincer. He's coming up to the southern side of Fantasy's natural expansion, as Fantasy is going straight up to the natural. No, Hyuk is going for a counterattack. Yeah, he's going to try to counter at the natural, but Fantasy is in here with the science vessel falling back into his bunker with some troops too. So I think he will be able to defend this as long as he repairs the bunker. And Fantasy is not pulling back with his troops. In fact, he's going for Hyuk's natural expansion. Yeah, he's going for the counter. No troops back. Oh, Hyuk. GG's. That's it. Whoa. One too many drinks for the cameraman. So Fantasy takes it very convincingly, in a nice little adaptation to what Terrans have been doing on that map, just to make it a little bit more advantageous for them. But Fantasy living up to his statistical advantage. Let's move on to the next set.